Welcome back, authorized entities, data surfers, and any sentient beings currently bored enough to be tuning in. We direct our attention once again to Sol 3, a nondescript damp rock known locally as Earth. It's a planet inhabited by a carbon-based bipedal species that has paved over a perfectly functional ecosystem simply to provide a flat surface on which to file tax returns. In the vast majority of civilized systems, the cessation of function, what the locals call death, is viewed merely as a logistical event. When a biological unit reaches the end of its operational efficiency, it is standard protocol to initiate a shutdown sequence, recycle the organic compounds, and move on. Consider the Krell of Cygnus X1. When a Krell unit detects that its output has dropped below 60%, it does not burden the hive with its decline. It activates its internal expiry chip. The unit experiences a sudden, overwhelming wave of satisfaction and spontaneously dissolves into a fine, nutrient-rich mineral powder. This powder is then collected and used as fertilizer. Or observe the zirgons of quadrant Z44b. When a zirgon elder is no longer fast enough to hunt the agile methane worms of its homeworld, it does not expect to be fed by the young. It walks calmly into the community biochamber. Their body is utilized as a warm, nutrient-rich incubation pod for the larval stages of the next generation. These are the behaviors of rational species. They understand that the universe is a closed system. Energy borrowed must be returned. However, in sector ZZ9, plural Z alpha, the dominant species, Homo sapiens, has utterly failed to grasp this concept. Instead of accepting the natural degradation of their hardware, the human species has developed a pathological terror of the off switch. This brings us to the primary focus of this entry, the human fear of non-existence. It is a truly baffling psychological subroutine. The human unit spends the first 13 billion years of the universe's history not existing, and does not complain about it once. It suffers no boredom, no pain, and no taxes during this period. Yet the prospect of returning to that exact same state of peaceful non-existence causes them absolute paralysis. To cope with this inability to process their own expiration, humans have invented a series of elaborate coping mechanisms known as religions. They have convinced themselves that upon the cessation of biological function, their consciousness does not end, but is instead uploaded to a cloud server, variously termed heaven, Valhalla, or the spirit world. The specifics vary, but the general promise is always the same: eternal life. If one pauses to analyze this concept, it is immediately apparent that it is not a reward, but a punishment. The human mind is bored easily. It cannot sit through a 3-hour film without checking a mobile communication device. The idea that this same consciousness would enjoy an infinity of existence, trillions upon trillions of years of sitting on a cloud, playing a harp, or reuniting with ancestors they didn't particularly like when they were alive, is preposterous. Yet, because of this inherent fear of death, this desperate belief that they are too important to simply stop occurring, the human clings to the physical realm with a tenacity that borders on the grotesque. This leads us to the bizarre concept of the human old age. Unlike the Krell, who dissolve at the peak of dignity, the human hardware degradation is slow, public, and aesthetically displeasing. Around the 60th solar revolution, the human chassis begins a catastrophic failure cascade. The outer tegument loses elasticity, draping off the frame like poorly fitted upholstery. The optical sensors cloud over, requiring the unit to strap glass lenses to its face. The auditory inputs fail, necessitating the installation of screeching amplification devices. The central processing unit begins to suffer from severe latency, often retrieving corrupted data files from 1974 and presenting them as current events. In a sensible ecosystem, this would be the point of decommission. The unit has served its purpose. It has replicated, or failed to, and has made its contributions to society. But the human response is to fight the laws of thermodynamics with chemistry and denial. They engage in a futile battle against entropy. They smear expensive greases onto their decaying skin. They dye their dead protein filaments, their hair, in an attempt to mimic the coloration of youth, usually resulting in a shade of mahogany not found in nature. They have even invented a socioeconomic anomaly called retirement. This is a bizarre model, wherein the unit ceases all productive output entirely, yet simultaneously increases its resource consumption by approximately 400%. They call these the golden years, a euphemism which appears to refer to the sheer volume of currency required to keep the unit operational. Rather than stepping aside for the updated models, the obsolete units engage in a form of intergenerational resource hoarding. They occupy the largest housing units, despite using only one room. They hold the highest positions of political power, making decisions about a future they will not inhabit. And the younger units, the offspring, enable this. This is due to a secondary malfunction in the species' emotional coding known as guilt. They cripple their own economic advancement to pay for the care of units that, by any biological metric, expired a decade ago. The humans have industrialized this guilt. They have constructed vast entropy sinks known as nursing homes. In these facilities, the obsolete units are kept in a state of suspended animation, arranged in semicircles to stare at glowing rectangles for 12 hours a day. They are kept alive by being force-fed vast quantities of pharmaceutical compounds, contributing nothing but carbon dioxide and complaints about the ambient temperature. Ultimately, the human approach to the end of the life cycle is a masterclass in inefficiency. They cling desperately to a crumbling, miserable existence, fighting for every agonizing second of decay. A truly baffling choice, considering their insistence that the moment they die, they are transferred to a realm of eternal bliss. If they truly believed their own brochure, one would expect a stampede for the exits. Instead, they treat the promise of paradise like a dentist appointment they are desperate to reschedule.